Hello. We have this inventory widget drafted. It has no functionality, but what I wanted to do at this stage is go to inputs, add an input action for opening the inventory. Go to input actions on a control D. We can go right click in the content browser, go to input, add an input action. I want to name this inventory menu. It's digital bool, that's fine. Now I want to map it, find it. Inventory menu, I want to make this I keyboard. Right, in here you don't need to type keyboard. You can type I and find it. Okay. Also select the key value and record it. In the player character, stretch this over here. Okay. I want to get the input action event inventory menu. We can do it this way, and we can also do it with, for example, one keyboard. We'll draft it with one keyboard. I think we actually have that doing something. Let's get 7 keyboard. Here's 7. When I press this, I want to create the widget. The widget is inventory widget. I want to get player controller. I want to add the viewport. Add a viewport. I want to set show mouse cursor. Target is player controller. To be true. When I press this, I want to flip flop. And I only want to flip flop once at a time. So I gotta do once. Flip flop one tick at a time. I get a delay. I want to be able to open and close this every 0.2 seconds is fine. Loop this back to do once. The first time I press it, it will execute A and it will create the inventory widget. When I press it next, I want to get a reference to this widget. Right click, promote the variable, inventory, menu, widget, reference. Put this here. When I press it the second time, when I press activate the second time, which is effectively deactivate, I want to get the reference. I want to set visibility widget. I first want to check is valid. And I want to check it here too. I'll explain why. When we deactivate it, if it's valid, set it hidden. So back to activate. If this has already been created the first time and it's valid, I just want to do set visibility to visible of this widget reference. Let's test this with 7 keyboard. Here's 7. Here's our menu. We press it again. It goes away if I hold it. So it only works once. Let's look and see what we did. See what I did. If it's valid again, I would set it visible, and I think that this is too fast. Let's make this 2 seconds. I want to hold 7. Okay. I press 7 again. Go on and press 7 again. Does not come back up. So let's simplify things. Let's get rid of this. Let's just create it. And this reference again. And if it's a valid reference, we can set it. But it will be, so we can just simplify things. We can set this hidden. Try it again. Oh. So let's go back. All that code is fine. All the script is fine. It dead ends if it's not at the end of this. So I want to loop this back to do once. And if it's not valid, loop it back to do once. Actually, after set visibility, after set visibility hidden, we can go to the timer. I want this to still, we can do 1 second. It's, yeah, that's fine. No, okay, let's try this. And here we can loop back to the reset. If it's visible, I actually want to go and perform the delay. Let's try this. 7, 7, 7, 1 Mississippi. 7, wait a second. 7, wait a second. 7, wait a second. 7, wait a second. Okay. You can see the mouse cursor is here. When I activate this menu, there's one more thing I want to do. When it's visible, I want to set input mode UI only. The widget to focus. This is the player controller. Lock always. I want to copy. After I can link this up here, and then this will run for both of the instances, both of those scenarios. Sorry, instances is a game term. I was using it as a word too generally. We have a switch scenario. We have a scenario. In this scenario, if it's valid, and if it's not valid, it can run through the same thing. No. Yeah, because both times it's creating it. So this is like one scenario. And then this is like another scenario where it's setting it invisible. And if it's invisible, I want to set input mode game. I can get back to the game. And I can get player controller. Try this now. Press 7. Press 7. Let's see. Press 7. Press 7. Must mess something up. I don't need to. That doesn't need to go through a timer. Seven. I want to use this. Add the viewport. Make sure that wasn't causing a problem. Okay. Let's go here. Let's not set this. Well, let's see here. It might be that we're using UI only. Let's instead of gaming UI. Let's get rid of this. Not really necessary. Just good practice. 7, 7, 7, 7. Okay, so that works. I can still control the game, and I can use my menu. If I want to set it to UI only, we can try to use one for each. I want to hit player controller, inventory menu widget to focus, lock, always. Yeah, we don't want to use UI only. So let's use set game and UI. Player controller, widget to focus, lock always, don't hide cursor during capture. We can route both of these through this like we thought we could. Okay, this will work. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. When we move the mouse, you have to click and engage it to scroll the screen. Now that we use set input mode in game, game and UI input mode. And otherwise you have control over the game with your left hand and the UI with your right. if you're right-handed and use your mouse with your right hand. Otherwise, your left hand would control the menu, and your keyboard would control your character, which would be your right hand, I think. Or maybe they use their hands the same and they're just better at keyboard. Or maybe it's opposite brained and they're better at mouse. I don't know. It's game design stuff you have to think about. Okay, so that was setting up the menu to appear when we press a button and disappear when we press a button. I would rather make this a different. We can go back and add this now. Trigger it. We can do it when started. So we just do it once. It doesn't. It's one impulse. It's one moment, one tick. Started. We can press I now. I, it comes up, and I again, it goes away. I, and there we go. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.